Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding the Bible changes, and um, it's it's a thing. So if anybody wants to see how we got these extractions, I will post the link in which we correctly extracted them. Um, it's in probably the first 5 minutes, and I think 33 seconds of the video is how we got these extractions. Um, and um, I'm just going to read them to you. And they ended up being INWFAYONELRSPASEDBHWHTSPASDBRMATCOUNSBOTTL. Ugh. And I mean, I should have been doing this all along, but if you're trying to follow along at home, you can pause that and take those numbers down or those letters down. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, we've already got these to go forward and backwards through finance. We've got these to go forwards and backwards through genetics. And we've got these to go forwards through medical. All right. Well, now we're coming back through medical, and you started with LTTO because we got OTTL to run forwards, right? And it came up to a few things. Well, we did LTTO, then coming backwards. All right. And we got Luvian Technology Transfer Office Advanced Energy Management Systems. Generation Internet of Things and flexible, lightweight power sources for medical devices, intelligent textiles. And when I go in here, it's in a different language, guys. But I can read that much out in the link, and I don't see a translate option. But I'll provide. I guess I'll provide the search on this particular one, so you can read the description. Because when you click into it, it's a different language. So, but anyway, they power medical devices. It looks like. Is that what I read? I'm just learning all this stuff. Power sources for medical devices. Yes. All right. So if you move on from that, you have uh, BSN, and BSN equals or ends up being BSN Medical. Welcome to BSN Medical Australia and New Zealand. BSN Medical is a world leader in the medical device sector, specializing in the areas of orthopedics. And that's interesting. Orthopedics, vascular therapy, and wound management. All right. And this goes on, guys. But I think you get the idea. They specialize in medical devices and areas of orthopedics and vascular therapy, wound management. All right. So if you move on from that, and that's important to remember for a little later on, if I remember correctly. So then you move on from that, and you have IKN, which I took, guys, and you get a bunch of Army stuff. But when neither me nor my fiance can get into it to read it, it won't let us in. So maybe I'll provide the search, and maybe somebody can get in. Privacy Act, IKN Army, and the site is https www.ikn.army.mil. So this deals with DEERS enrollment. That's army.mil, KIN, or IKN, excuse me. They talk about medical treatment there. But yeah, they got some Army stuff, and we can't get into it. But, and just for that, we're going to circle the Army hit, because we got a Navy hit before, and now you got Army stuff, and it's right here. All right, we're going to circle that and keep an eye on that. But then I went ahead and took IK, and you get Intelligent Kinetics. Intelligent Kinetics was launched in January 2010 following a successful business expansion project and utilizing our manufacturing partners with over 15 years of production and development expertise in Germany. Intelligent Kinetics provides end-to-end solutions. And it looks like they deal in, let's see, QualiMed was founded in 1997 as an OEM and private label manufacturer for implantable medical devices and based in Winsen, Germany. So there's another German connection, and there's some more medical devices. All right. Our primary focus is to create an alliance of global distribution partners and their associated physicians to develop new technology with existing products for the patients they treat. All right. So that's some fairly interesting stuff. Excuse me. And so Intelligent Kinetics, IK. All right. So if you move on from that, you have NIW. And NIW, and guys, I didn't want to include this, but it's so vast. I went through 3 pages of this stuff. So it's there. I mean, it's definitely there. This is more finance, but it's medical. National interest waiver for a medical physicist. National interest waiver. Full-time in HHS designated primary medical health professional shortage area. National interest waiver. North America. Oh, national interest waiver program. This was what I wanted to read. The Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health will develop requests. So here's a national interest waiver based on behavioral health. And we've got behavioral genetic hits. We got a behavioral disease, sleeping disorder, right? And now a national interest waiver based on behavioral health. And it goes on. A national interest waiver for medical physicists. Scott Legal PC. And this just goes on for pages, guys. So apparently that national interest waiver is in fact important, so we're including it. So lost my place, guys. HC is HC Marbella. Marbella? Yeah. And they have a medical imaging. Oh, HC Marbella expands its services with a new medical imaging center. Now, if you remember in our last search, we found artificial intelligence in medical imaging, right? And that was in Pinball Wizard. And so now, in our next search here, looking at the Bible, we find an expansion of a new medical imaging center at HC Marbella. So that's interesting. So then if you move on from that, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I think that's really interesting. I don't know if that's worthy of circle, but it's definitely interesting, and it connects this search to our Pinball Wizard search, I believe. So if you move on from that, you have UOC, and that ends up being United Orthopedic Corporation. Oh, all right. Where were we dealing with orthopedics? IK, Intelligent Kinetics, I believe, dealt with orthopedics. whoops. Car No, it wasn't them that dealt with orthopedics. Who dealt with orthopedics? BSN. Yes, BSN, guys. BSN Medical dealt with orthopedics. Excuse me, I was wrong. BSN Medical dealt with orthopedics, and now you have United Orthopedic Corporation. All right, so that's interesting. Then if you take TAMR, which I find interesting because that's one of the reasons we put all these changes together so that we can get or maximize our information. And TMA is the beginning of our Matt Couch change, and R is the end of our last one. And if you take that TAMR, you end up getting TAMR resources, making competing on analytics a reality in healthcare using machine learning to bring order to data chaos. Case study. All right. So here's more machine learning, artificial intelligence. And we've got that a lot before it fits right into my fiance's theory of what's going on here. So yeah, if you come down here, they say making competing on analytics a reality in healthcare using machine learning to bring data to chaos. A multinational medical devices, pharmaceutical, and consumer packaged goods organization set out to better compete and grow through use of analytics. They wanted to leverage all their data, both internally generated through decades of business operations. And that goes on if you must click the case study. But financial services firm, heavily automated. So these are all, they got some stuff going on here, guys. But the thing I take away from that is machine learning. And we've got that before. All right. And now we got it here. So machine learning. So that's an interesting thing. Actually, we should circle these guys because they deal in artificial intelligence, and anytime you're dealing with that, you might be using the quantum network. So we are circling TAMR resources. All right. And we should have circled TE connectivity last time, guys, for the simple fact that we get them all the time in the stock market. And we finally find out they're a medical company. So I'll probably go back and circle them as well. But moving on from TAMR, you have BDS, which ends up being bodily distress syndrome. Oh, wait, was I there? Yes. Bodily distress syndrome, the evolution of medically unexplained symptoms. So BDS, bodily distress syndrome, BDS. And you can read all about that. We're going to move on, and you end up from there getting TSN, which ends up being Trauma Survivors Network. I'm not sure how significant that is, but it probably is. And here's a whole thing about it. A traumatic injury can alter life in an instant. Recovery can be long and challenging and requires the resources are in place to meet physical and emotional needs of both the injured and his or her family. So Trauma Survivors Network links survivors and their families with others who have sustained similar injuries, providing support along with resources to enable victims to rebuild their lives. So, yeah, they're there. They are there. And not sure how significant, but they're there. So if you move on from that, you end up with IAG, which ends up being International Assistance Group. And also IAG Medical Investments, IAG Medical. But International Assistance Group, IAG. We provide our partners and providers with the tools they need to stay competitive in Sharp Healthcare USA. I'd have to go in here. I'll provide these links, guys. I was trying to stay so I could read about both things, but that's International Assistance Group. And down here is IAG Medical and IAG Medical Investments. And they're based in Arlington, Texas. So, and then you got your International Assistance Group again. They talk about air ambulance. So, yeah. I'll let you read about those guys. I'll figure out what to post, the search and the links. But those are the things I take away from that. And if you move on from that, you end up with AS, which ends up being Angelman syndrome. Now, this wasn't easy to figure out what it was, because everywhere I looked, I had to scroll down a ways, guys, even when I came to this site. I mean, it just talks about diagnosis and treatment. What is Angelman syndrome? Angelman syndrome is a severe neurogenic disorder that shares symptoms and characteristics similar to those associated with other disorders, including autism, cerebral palsy, Prader-Willi syndrome. Due to these misdiagnosis in prevalent problem, late or misdiagnosis may cause individuals to lose opportunities for early intervention programs, resources, personalized support, and life-saving treatments. So, the symptoms of this are developmental delays, vary from individual to individual, seizures, a happy demeanor. Oh, a happy demeanor, frequent laughing, smiling, and excitability. Well, that sounds all bad. Little sarcasm there, but a happy demeanor. All right. In infants 0 to 24 months, lack of cooing or babbling, inability to support one's head, pulling oneself up to stand, and delayed motor skills. That's in 0 to 24 months. All right. In young children, lack of speech, although some develop the ability to speak a few words, delayed ability to walk, unstable gait or balance issues. All right. It was the happy demeanor that kind of had me chuckling a little bit. Like, oh, no, don't have a happy demeanor. But I'm certain they're talking about that thing that people laugh at inappropriate stuff. So I have heard of that before. In fact, I used to know somebody who did that and had that particular thing. So, well, I still know them. I just, haven't seen them in a long, long time. But anyway, yeah, I think that's what that means. So it's probably not as funny as I thought after I think about it. But still, a happy demeanor, frequent laughing, smiling, and excitability, you would think would be a good quality. But I suppose not at inappropriate times. So, moving on from that, my apologies there. I got a little sidetracked, but Yes. So we move on from that, and you have SA. And that ends up being SA Medical Network. All right. SA Medical Network has a network of clinics providing the best quality care in the region. I don't know what region. Dedicated multilingual alarm center. Medical staff available for on-site and remote consultation. Advanced care and specialist clinics. In addition to a large network of clinics and hospitals in Central and South America, SA has access to numerous specialty centers that handle every medical need. Trauma. Oh, we just had that. Orthopedics. We just had that twice. Oncology, which we had in our last decode, I think Pinball Wizard, possibly even this one. Cardiology and neurology. We've had neurology before too. The Neurology Institute, I think was who they were. I think they were our quantum network user potential, along with two others that will be put on the list later. We're going to change how we do that. We were being very conservative, and now we feel that we should be listing all potential quantum network users instead of just trying to pick one. And I think that's how we're going to start doing it. Will be because they're potential, and if they're all potential, then they're all potential. But anyway, yeah, so there's some more connection right there. So now we're going to move on to PSE. All right, and that is portosystemic encephalopathy. So PSE or hepatic, oh man. Anyway, it's a neuropsychiatric syndrome. PSE is a neuropsychiatric syndrome associated with hepatocellular failure or protosystemic venous shunting. So, chronic was seen in chronic liver failure. So, yeah, there's a few things going on with this, but it's a neuropsychiatric syndrome associated with hepatocellular or port systemic venous shunting. All right, moving on from that, you end up with THW, which ends up being TECLA World Healthcare Fund. And there ain't much to say about that. TECLA World Healthcare Fund, Capital Management LLC, THW. And this talks about their funds management. And it looks like they've got them some money. Net assets, $431,681,462. All right, that's some money. That's some bucks. So anyway, there ain't much. We're gonna move on from that because we're probably, how are we doing? Whoops. Geez. All right, guys, I'm trying to move this along. HB ends up being HB Medical and Wellness Care, Hampton BiPAT, teaching health, changing lives. And you got services, staff. So there ain't much to say about these guys. They're a health care basically, and that's about all you got with them. I'm not going to get into them because we're running long. So then you have DSE then, which ends up being DSE Healthcare Solutions. And DSE Healthcare Solutions, providing solutions to specialty health and providing relief from specialty health conditions. DSE Healthcare Solutions, LLC offers products that provides solutions for specialty health concerns. All right. Now, the reason I didn't click into that particular link was because this stood for something else that seemed significant. Dobutamine stress echocardiogram, DSE, test information. So this is also a medical test, designated DSE. All right, and it looks like it deals with the heart. So then if you move on from that, you have SAP, and SAP ends up being SAP Medical Research Insights. Medical Research Insights. Filling a gap in medical research and treatment. Healthcare, gosh, I'll just let you guys read about it. Oh, they have comprehensive cancer centers, can be seen as the vanguard of this development, as they combine proven treatment with approaches, cutting edge research, and prevention measures in order to give, you know what, though? I understand what they're saying. I have this whole thing with cancer research. Myself, because I think they're holding out the cure anyway, personally. And but either way, this is a medical research center, and they do cancer research apparently as well. Also, business intelligence software products. There's literally no analytics software tailored specifically to the needs of physicians in general and oncologists in particular available today. The goal of the Medical Research Insights Project is to fill this gap. All right. So that's a little bit about them. And if you move on from that, I know this is a lot of information. A professor probably wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. It's just too much, but it's what it is. So if you move on from that, you got SR. That ends up being SR Medical Services. And there's not a whole lot to say about them. Oh, SR Instruments. So medical services and instruments. And they deal with healthcare as well. And so if you move on from that, we're almost done. You get LEN, and LEN ends up being LEN Medical Group. The LEN Medical Group is today one of the major players in the continuing medical education of medical specialists. For more than 25 years, LEN Medical has been working through the journals it publishes, the congresses it organizes, and the hundreds of publishing products it produces to offer medical specialists a permanent CME closer to their daily concerns. So yeah, and I'll let you read all about that. Oh, look, I got to read on. The LEN Medical is a communication group that has three main professions: the press, conferences, publishing, the press with the publication of 10 journals, practice dermatology, practice gastroenterology, practice gerontology and general medicine, practice obstetrics, gynecology, and nephrology, neurology. They got neurology. So gynecology, we had that gal that was into gynecology, that Linda Otto. And now you got gynecology here. You also have neurology here. You had a neurology surgeon in the last search, right? and neurological center in in the last search of the Bible and the last search of the pinball wizard, you had uh, a neurology group. Oh my. Okay, so if you move on from that guy, I think that's an interesting connection. I had to make that point. So if you move on from that, OYA is ACT Medical Archives, the OYA group. Um, so you also have OYA Medical Limited. Um, so I will provide the links, or I'll provide the search. You also have Hiroko Oya, MD, neurosurgeon, University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. So here's another neurosurgeon. All right. And I might just provide that search, guys, because there's a few things there. Or I might go into each individual one and provide the links because there's only 3 things there. But anyway, guys, got to move on. Got to move on. FWN then is Federal Way Naturopathy. A naturopathic physicist, as naturopathic physicists, we are trained in the art of science of disease prevention, medical diagnosis, and treatment using minimally invasive natural therapies. So, they deal with homeopathic stuff, cranial sacral therapy, cranial sacral therapy, hydrotherapy, botanical medicine, counseling, and nutrition. All right. And if you go on from that, you have NI, which ends up being NI Medical Ltd. And they are a biotechnology company that develops and manufactures whole body biopedance systems, non-invasive cardiac systems. So they are a biotechnology company. We've had biotechnology before. Whoops. And that, yeah, gets you through going forwards and backwards. Now, in the medical category, sorry it ran so long. That's a lot of information to get through. And now I will try to upload this video, and I will try to start on the chemicals and the chemical search, because that's the end of the medical. And thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.